have not set myself up in a good position to make a sound. Thank you, Ayato. Good enough. 3, 2, 1. I'll make do. It has been a good few days since I did the first half of this, so yeah, there's absolutely no guarantee I'm going to going to remember what happened. But it'll be a nice surprise. She's unhappy because that book that's getting people possessed is beating her books sale things. Who needs a last time on such and such?
Alright, Miko, we're here. So what's your plan of action to deal with this rival book?
Why don't you take a guess? I'll give you a hint. It's to do with the Yai Publishing House.
Oh, Paimon knows! Combine the reputation of the Yai Publishing House with the status of Guji Yai and tell everyone that the incantations in that book are dangerous!
Oh, wow! Your first guess and you got it absolutely...
Wrong.
wrong. First-hand guide to summoning spirits is the hottest light novel right now. If we did as you suggested, we would effectively be advertising to everyone that the incantations are real. In bending over backwards trying to warn everyone about the dangers, all we would accomplish is to create more curious readers ready to try them out. Also, sales for the book would only increase further.
Okay, yeah, that would be pretty catastrophic. Oh! How about we confiscate all the copies?
You can't, like, bring any sort of attention to it because exactly what she said will still happen, like, by confiscating all the copies, that'll make people more inclined to, it's like piracy, right? The way to beat piracy isn't to make things even harder to get a hold of, it's to make things easier to get a hold of, because if it's easier to, watch the thing illegally and safely, then more people would do that. And it's the same with this. If you make it harder to get the book, that's someone's gonna keep a copy, right, and then they're gonna copy it, and then there are gonna be all sorts of black market dealings with the book, but then people won't be able to come to you and say, hey, I think I just accidentally got someone possessed, because technically they shouldn't have the book in the first place. And so by doing that, it makes it's kind of even more dangerous, because then the people that do have the book aren't going to be able to get help when they do stupid things with it. Yeah.
Leaving aside the issue of the enormous manpower and resources such an operation would require, going to such lengths over a light novel would be extremely disruptive to the lives of Inazumans.
Okay, yeah, that too.
That means there's nothing we can do.
Well, I've been thinking. I've read a first-hand guide to summoning spirits. It has many other good qualities besides the incantations alone. The book contains many ancient kaiden, or tales of the supernatural, and is written in a very engaging way. That is why the book has become so popular. I think we're going to have a difficult time trying to rein in its popularity while it's the only work in its league on the market.
So you're going to write, you're personally not going to write, you're going to get somebody to write a competing novel?
That's right. How do you get rid of the next big thing? You replace it with the next big thing.
Clever.
So what we're going to do is create Inazuma's newest hit novel.
Do we know any, like, writers in Inazuma? Interesting.
Smash our rivals' sales numbers and win our readers back. That is how Miko wages war. Incidentally, this will also be the best way to combat the influence of a first-hand guide to summoning spirits.
Wait, Miko. So you want us to write
Oh.
a novel?
We're writing the novel, are we? You know, there have got to be some things that the Traveller can't do, okay? I mean, she's an amazing cook. She has Beidou fawning over her for being able to for multitasking. And now you're like, oh yeah, write a novel. It's easy. Anyone can do it. She has to have some limitations, you know? I've never written a novel before.
Well, becoming an accomplished novelist certainly isn't an overnight process. But let's not forget that I am the chief editor of the Yai Publishing House. I have my ways.
I'd feel
I
better.
did say this is what we're going to do. I trust that the word teamwork is in your vocabulary.
Funny. What was I saying? Yeah, I would feel better if the task was to locate somebody to ghostwrite it for us, rather than the Traveller suddenly being able to write a novel as well. I'm sorry, but I don't want to get annoying and petty about the game, but just there's something about characters that can do every bloody thing that just get on my tits, you know?
Anyway, there is a writer submission event going on at the moment. Start by talking to readers and finding out what they're into. When you have an idea of what the current trends are, come back and see me. I'll be at Uyu Restaurant. Find me there when you're done. I will assemble a team, and we can work while we eat.
See, I'm happy for the Traveller to be your market researcher, but really shouldn't be able to all of a sudden write a novel. Even if she is. You know, you can't just submit crap to an editor and expect them to salvage it. I mean, your first drafts are gonna be crap. That's just how they work, but still. Who do I want to talk to? Are there only 3 options? Okay, fair enough. Hello.
The key to a successful light novel is having good illustrations. When to use illustrations, what they
Albedo.
should contain, and which artist you should commission for them. These are all key things to bear in mind. Good illustrations can make up for bad writing. But on the flip side, a bad illustration can ruin your novel, even if you have the best story in the world. There's a saying that light novels are essentially a case of buy art, get words free. I'd agree with that. Too bad most of the top artists have jam-packed schedules, so it's extremely difficult to commission them. The illustrations in A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits are incredible, but it's unlike any art style I've ever seen before.
Okay, you can't say that and then not tell us who did the art. Come on. Tetsuo.
I'll be honest, I read light novels for the cheap thrills. In most traditional stories, the protagonist usually has this long and drawn-out character arc, usually involving a process of separation, loss, and ultimately growth and renewed strength. It reads well and everything, it's just a little slow-paced for me. By contrast, there's this popular light novel at the moment called A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits, where the protagonist is super strong right from the get-go. That's what I mean by cheap thrills.
No.
Action-packed right from page 1.
Listen,
The
hang on,
protagonist is a
sorry.
kitsune who has not only mastered the secret art of incantations, but also tea ceremony, painting, and calligraphy.
Sounds unbearable. Look, I will admit, I love a good story that is just nice. you know, and like, I think that different types of narratives serve different things. Okay, see, I'm having like a stream of consciousness at the moment. For example, if you're watching a 45 to 52 episode long series, then you would expect hardships and downfalls and struggles, and eventually to feel some kind of hurrah from the protagonist, right? But if you are watching a film 10 years after this amazing series that you watched and fell in love with it, and then a film was made for like the 10th anniversary, and then they kill the main character, then that's a little bit shit. Or even if you make a film a year later and then kill more than half the cast, potentially, that's also a little bit shit. Especially if you advertise it as a nice little family thing, which you can have a nice family thing, and then the conflict is just one. You know, I mean, every story needs a conflict, but not every conflict needs to be huge, and I've lost the point of what I'm saying. I think I'm just moaning about 01 and O's now at this point. Okay, I can complain about O's now. Anyway, I have no clue what I'm saying anymore, but this is why I plan my talking videos in the in the past. Yeah, obviously in the past. In advance. In advance. What am I talking about? Oh my god, what am I saying? What are we doing? Damn it, I had a point. I think all of that was just to say that I love reading a thing. I love being able to just put down the really tiring and depressing stories. So just sit and have fun a little bit. But also, it's very annoying when the protagonist can do everything perfectly. Although, you know, at least if you're gonna make a character who can do everything and is absolutely perfect, at least have the common decency to actually make them perfect, because you have no idea how irritating it is to have a main character who is always called like perfect and a saint and so compassionate, and in real life is just a dick. Sorry, Tetsuo, you were saying. Oh. You don't want to talk to me anymore. Kyoto! Hello.
I've been reading light novels for a long time now. I'm mainly into big, ambitious fantasy works with an original
Love it.
core concept and good storytelling.
Amazing.
These days, though, everyone seems to be imitating each other. Most of the time, I can guess what the story is about just from the title. The only
There's a
recent book
Sakura
worth
Bloom.
mentioning is A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits.
Sorry, I am listening. I just
Not
want
only
that
is it
flower
a
thing.
Good story, but the descriptions are really true to life. So much so that I'm almost wondering if maybe the author really has met all those yokai before.
Surely we need to find out who the author
More
is.
to light novels than Paimon realized. Let's go tell our findings to Yai Miko.
It's totally not annoying trying to get these with Razor. I mean, I have Lisa, I just don't want to switch, you know? Even if it would, even though it would be a lot quicker, it feels like it's not. Oh, there's another one. Damn it. No. Ayato, sweetheart, what are you doing? Are we in Deno again suddenly? I'm sorry, this is way too amusing. I'll get down. What was I doing? Yeah, oh my god, what is happening? Okay, this is not gonna work, is it? Nope. Alright, fine, I will play your game. I'm not opposed to Lisa at all. For the longest time, she was my favourite. I just don't like switching parties if I don't have to. It feels like it takes longer. But when you have both of the Kamisato family, you really need to stock up on these things. Okay.
Ah, there you are. Let me introduce the team. You've already met Junkichi and Shigeru. Shigeru is an experienced editor, and Junkichi is the author he's partnered with. Junkichi's working through a creative lull at the moment, but all his past works have been very popular with young people. He's developed a distinct and enduringly popular style. Satomi is Yae Publishing House's ace in the hole. Her specialty is that she can write all kinds of completely different stories and all under different pen names. As for what those names are, well, that's a trade secret.
Okay,
They
great,
will
so
be teaming
we're
up
not
with us to
writing the thing then.
collectively create a
Perfect.
novel that knocks a first-hand guide to summoning spirits off its perch. So, feeling better about my plan now?
I genuinely
It
do.
definitely makes sense.
Now then, tell me what you found out about readers' preferences.
Oh, thank God I don't actually have to tell her.
All very true. An original core concept, a fast pace, quality illustrations, and lots of action. This is the formula that will guarantee good sales numbers. More importantly than that, even though it's a work of fiction, we have to deliver a sense of realism.
Paimon followed pretty much all of that, but there's still one question. What are we actually gonna write about? For example, we know we need an original core concept, but how do we come up with one?
Before you can answer that question, you have to understand your target audience. Take a first-hand guide to summoning spirits, for example. When I read it, all I find is common knowledge to the kitsune. But to the general public, it's bursting with new and interesting ideas. It all comes down to the size of the information gap between author and reader. As a traveler, there must be a great many things you know that are complete unknowns to the people of Inazuma. What is commonplace to you may be fresh and original to them.
Oh, right! So maybe we can take inspiration from our time in Mondstadt and Lille.
So we're gonna gossip.
That would make it a completely different genre than a first-hand guide to summoning spirits.
Not necessarily.
Is that gonna be a problem?
We had a great deal of experience with spirits in Liyue. I think. There was that little girl that was freaking out the chef guy, who may or may not have drowned in a river and is now causing pollution problems. That's a thing, isn't it?
Not at all. You don't have to worry so much about how to compete with that book. All you have to do is provide some interesting ideas based on your travel experiences. As long as the core content is interesting, my expert team here will be able to flesh out the details.
What do we have experience with, though?
Alright, let's start with chapter 1 then. What are you thinking?
No. Listen, no. We cannot start. We cannot start writing books about the bloody Archons if that's what you're trying to do right now. I mean, reincarnation in another world, encounters with airborne emergency rations, the work-shy bard, the dragon and the grand adventurer. This is about Venti. We cannot start doing that. Chapter 1, the work-shy bard.
Let's see what you got. After enrolling in the Mondstadt Academy, I found out that the young man sitting next to me in class was a total slacker. He said he was a bard, had a habit of playing his lyre in class, and always had a bottle of liquor on his person. But his true identity was actually the principal of the academy. What kind of plot is that?
Out of a maximum of 10 points, I'd give that a 9.5. It just goes to show, you have to have an interesting character sitting in the back row by the window. The protagonist is a transfer student, new to the school, whose ordinary life is about to take a wild turn when they meet the ballad and alcohol-loving principal. Sounds interesting. Approved.
I hate...
Does not see the
Hang
appeal.
on. I hate that we're writing in an academy, but also that is genuinely hysterical. Okay, I can
Good
approve
job,
this
little one.
idea.
You're not only drawing on your own experiences, but it seems you're filtering them through the lens of the kinds of light novels you've
Oh
read in
no,
the
is this
past.
theme gonna carry
I
on?
think you really understand what we're trying to do here. Thoughts from the experts? Are we able to work with this general framework to make an interesting story?
Yeah, we think it works. I tend to overcomplicate the core concept if I'm not careful, so this deals with that problem.
That's good. Okay, we're done with chapter 1. Let's move on to chapter
Oh
2.
god. I dread to think.
Won't that do for now?
Readers will devour your content a lot more
Paimon.
quickly than you'd think. If we don't keep delivering the goods now we've caught their attention, all our hard work so far is in vain. Hurry, chapter 2, let's go. Can't you see that Satomi is waiting?
What's wrong with you? You don't look so good.
Hey, if we're drawing inspiration from Venti for chapter 1, then poor Zhongli is gonna be actually, I'm sure it won't be, but you know, we can draw from some kind of faking his own death plot. I mean, my god, what's more interesting than that?
What a pity. I thought your beginner's luck would carry you a little further before it came to this. But alas, the time has come prematurely.
Before it came to what? What's happened?
The bane of our existence.
Oh.
The writer's block. It's your arch nemesis for life, appearing without warning and inflicting a pain worse than death upon the writer. They sell their souls just to get their muse back.
Sounds awful.
When
Yeah.
this happens, the best thing you can do is have a bite to eat and take a proper break. Boss, get me a plate of fried tofu, and get some kushikatsu for these two. Just the basic kind will do. Don't worry, this is my treat.
Your treat? Oh, wait a minute. Miko, we'll be getting paid for all the hard work we're doing, right?
Of course, everyone that takes part in the creative process will be paid.
Alright, cool. Then let's press on, shall we? Don't give up now. For the sake of our paycheck, get your brain going!
Okay, it's coming. Paycheck. Speaking of Mora.
Ooh, does this mean your inspiration come back?
Just interesting. I turned into a Geo Bishop hatchling, rock and roll girl. Took a trip to Lyra, told guy to turn out to be Rex Lapis. See, okay, on the one hand, we really shouldn't be divulging that kind of information, but on the other hand, I want to know what the reaction is. If I just all of a sudden go, oh yeah, no, I know we arrived in Lyra and then Rex Lapis immediately died, but like we were totally like hung out for a little bit. Yeah. Shouldn't say that, but you know.
Protagonist arrives in Lyra and befriends a young man who doesn't have the money to pay for anything. Only later do we find out that this young man is none other than Rex Lapis himself. With the help of the Qixing and the protection of the Adepti, I am free to roam this vast realm. Is this the kind of cheap thrill that guy was talking about?
I give
Oh my
it a
god, I'm so
9.8.
sorry. Oh, that shouldn't make me laugh as much as it does. We should not be telling. I know it's not real, but also we really shouldn't be planting this kind of idea in people's... I mean, I know readers are going to think we're making this up, but Yay Miko, you know, told us to draw on our inspiration from like our genuine travels, and then all of a sudden we're like, oh yeah, no, Rex Lapis was like totally our tour guide for a bit. So like, we should not be saying these things. And she's gonna, if we can't like even remotely suggest at something, because she'll know. She'll work it out. I'm pretty sure we just blew it for Zhongli at this point.
The story is fun and action-packed with no dark undertones. Also, there are a great many legends about Rex Lapis. I'm sure it will spark the people's curiosity.
Yeah, it will spark people's curiosity, and people are going to start thinking about Rex Lapis again. And conspiracies are a thing. There must be people in Liyue who believe that Rex Lapis is actually still alive. I mean, sure. And it's not... I mean, Zhongli, I love you. You have not gone to that many lengths to conceal your identity. You know, I mean, yeah, kind of, but also visually, you've got the same kind of colour fade and everything. And now we're just like, oh yeah, tour guide. People are going to start asking questions.
I, for one, think there's a sizable market for this. Approved.
I love that we're not doing a chapter 3.
Zhongli doesn't mind.
Great. Well, now Satomi can get started on that.
Paimon! Why would Zhongli mind Paimon? I mean, what's he got to do with the price of fish? You know, here I was concerned that simply mentioning Rex Lapis in a way that doesn't make sense to the timeline. I mean, at no point did we actually divulge anything too much to reveal Venti's identity, and even if we did, that's fine, because he goes around telling people anyway. I mean, people don't believe him, but he tells them. But now, you know, Zhongli has to keep his identity hidden, and we're just like, oh yeah, so, yeah, we went to Liyue, and then the dragon fell from the sky, but like, he was totally our tour guide for a bit. I know that don't make much sense, considering we're supposed to be drawing from our actual adventures, and that couldn't possibly have happened, but I'm still mentioning it, and now, you don't name drop Zhongli like that, Paimon. I'm sure he wouldn't have minded about you mentioning, you know, Rex Lapis, but he might mind you mentioning him by name. Why not just print his address while you're at it? Oh, I sure hope Zhongli won't mind. You know, Zhongli, a consultant of Wangshang Funeral Parlour, who is actually Rex Lapis, aka Morax. Paimon!
Leave it to me, Lady Yai. Let's write about Inazuma in the 3rd chapter, shall we?
We are doing
I can help with this one.
that.
We
Okay,
can
never
use
mind.
the Vision Hunt Decree or your experience in the Resistance. Any ideas?
Stuff this, come on, let's get rid of this Vision Hunt Decree. Yeah, that one.
Clearly very closely based on your own personal experience, with no major changes at all.
I'm running low on
That's fine.
inspiration.
Since it's something that took place in Inazuma, it might actually be more interesting to readers if it's grounded in the truth.
Yeah, as opposed to that last story I just told,
We
which
need to
isn't
rewrite the part
at all
about
grounded in
Miko and
truth.
Mori. Let's change it to... The mysterious Lady Kitsune teaches the protagonist a spell that can make their wishes come true. The protagonist uses this spell to defeat the Raiden Shogun in battle. That should do the trick.
Perfect.
So we're really going head to head with our rival on this one, huh?
I suppose so. Once they're done writing the manuscript, I'll write the passage where the protagonist recites the incantation myself.
Are we done then? Do you really think this will be able to beat a first-hand guide to summoning spirits?
Probably not, but let's be honest. There's probably going to be, in the next few days at least, a new light novel all about the brand new conspiracy that Rex Lapis is actually still alive and is the consultant for Wang Shang funeral parlour.
The concept
Paimon.
is fine. Now we just need to promote it. I will contact an artist to make some illustrations. I'm positive they will be at least as good as those in A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits. We'll also need an endorsement on a paper band around the book. I can get the wonderful Ms. Hina to write that. She runs a regular Q&A column in That's Life magazine. The people of Inazuma absolutely adore her. You're free to take a break while the creative team is doing their work, but please go by the Yai Publishing House at some point to commission Ms. Hina for that recommendation. Once our light novel is complete, let's meet at the writer's submission event.
Don't worry. This story has a very clear narrative structure. Junkichi will definitely be able to work his magic on the writing front.
Oh, yeah! How did it go with that incantation from A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits? Did you manage to make a wish in the end?
Nope. On the first day, Junkichi couldn't memorize the incantation because it was too long. On the second day, he didn't wake up in time, and midnight came and went. Oh, then, on the third day...
Mr. Shikiru, I thought we agreed not to speak of this.
Add a little foreshadowing here. Call back to the first chapter there. Call back via contrast, that is. Plot twist here, obviously. Now, where's the best to explore the central theme?
Wow, she seems really in the zone. Let's not disturb her.
Oh right, you're not you're not a part of this. Okay, sorry. Hello.
Let me think. What spell does Lady Kitsune teach to the protagonist? Ah, I've got it. I've got to make sure it sounds suitably mysterious.
Are you going to tell us what it is, or?
Please, talk to me if you want to order.
Wow. Ayato is on form today. Sorry, I've got a really, really bad chest today. I think I wasn't drinking enough today as well. That probably doesn't help. God, I am so boring when I want to be. My point is, I'm sorry for coughing all the time. Kurora.
Miss Hina doesn't usually do endorsements, but since it's Lady Guji that's asking, we'll see what we can do. With Miss Hina getting so popular lately, a lot of people have come to us hoping to do a collaboration. But Miss Hina's not interested in any of it. She still prefers to focus all her efforts on replying to readers' letters, and turns down every promotional opportunity she can.
Okay,
Maybe that's why her fans
that's
like her so
me.
much.
Clothes
I'm
falling
getting
off.
off topic here. Anyway, if we can get that endorsement from Miss Hina, you'll definitely get an exposure boost at the beginning. May your light novel sell well and set a new record for the Yai Publishing House.
We'll do our best.
Really don't think we should be submitting this manuscript.
Are you sure you'd like to submit this entry? Let me see. The Miraculous Adventures of the Traveler by Thousand Hands.
What a strange pen name. Definitely your doing. Having been around you so much recently, Paimon's slowly starting to understand your unique taste.
What do you mean, strange? It took a lot of work by a lot of different people to get this thing finished. Don't you think it's a very descriptive pen name?
We'll get this printed as a matter of priority and conduct trial sales in pilot locations throughout Inazuma. I'll announce the sales numbers in 3 days.
Uh-oh. Hyman's getting a little nervous now. Do you really think this is gonna work?
Well, we had a top-notch team of professionals who very graciously helped us reveal Zhongli's identity.
That's right. Be confident in your work. That's exactly how a light novelist should be.
Okay, then I'll sign you up. Please come back in 3 days for the results. Thank you all for your submission. I wish you the very best of luck.
So I've got to, like, yeah. Okay, I am not gonna get confused by this. Hang on. 1 day. 2 days. Oh. And then after this, another day. I've got it. I feel like that wasn't 3 days, but fair enough.
Good news, everyone. I just received word that your light novel is flying off the shelves. Multiple sales locations are asking when we'll be printing more copies.
Woohoo! That's great!
Just
This
as long as
level
it
of success
doesn't
is
reach
an amazing
Leeway.
accomplishment for a new work. Most new books don't sell 30% of what you've sold. I have free copies for each of you here. Please take them. The payment will follow shortly, and I'll notify you to come and collect it when the time comes.
This is all great, but
The whole reason why we made this light novel was to combat the influence of a first-hand guide to summoning spirits. We sold a lot of copies, but it doesn't feel like we accomplished our goal. How do we know whether it worked?
Oh, don't worry. The change is already underway.
explain it to us, please.
Listen to what the people around us are talking
okay,
about.
you are.
The conversation has already moved on,
Tell
hasn't
me.
it?
Hey guys, have you heard about this latest Kaidan thing doing the rounds? You just need to recite the incantation from A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits at Midnight, and your wish will come true!
Oh, that? That's a throwback. That's old news, man. No one's talking about that anymore. The secret spells of Lady Kitsune is the new hit thing. I've already memorized all the incantations.
The secret spells of Lady Kitsune? What's that?
You haven't read it yet? Okay, so supposedly, if you recite the spell in there on a moonless night, you'll receive protection of the Kitsune and all the other powerful yokai. They can make any of your wishes come true. I heard that the incantations in A First-Hand Guide to Summoning Spirits have weird side effects. This one guy wished for a load of Mora and got it, but then one night it all turned to leaves and he developed a high fever. They actually had to use one of the secret spells of Lady Kitsune to get rid of the discomfort. That proves that the incantations in this book are more potent than the ones everyone was trying before. Pretty much everyone I know is desperate to try it out. Just waiting for a moonless night.
Really? Well, I better go and prepare too.
Well, feeling less worried now?
Wow, you're right! Everyone's shifting focus! But what's this moonless night that they're talking about? Hyman doesn't remember that detail from the brainstorming session.
This is something that will become very important to us further down the line. All right, it's time to move on to the next phase of the plan.
There's a phase 2?
Of course. Behind every book that hits the market lies an author, right?
Oh yeah, if we leave him to his own devices, he might just write another guide to summoning spirits. Also, we still need to figure out what his motive for writing it was.
Exactly. That's what we need to take care of next. Fortunately, I've already managed to identify the author. He's a failed light novelist named Tomoyuki. But when we went to ask him about it, he had no recollection whatsoever of having written the book.
Interesting.
Yes, this is another case of possession. Only this time, whoever possessed him actively sought him out.
I feel like, though, this can't possibly mean anything to us. I mean, like, whoever it is that possessed him has got to be a new person, right?
After his mission failed, he was walking aimlessly in Araumi. In frustration, he shouted out, "Please, someone, anyone, help me write a truly amazing novel." After that, he lost consciousness.
But the spirit that wrote the book has already left him now, right? So what are we supposed to do?
Simple. It wrote a summoning incantation in the book, didn't it? So we can just use its own method to manifest itself. And you, my little friend, are the perfect candidate for this role.
About me.
Oh, what are you talking about? The fun's just about to begin.
Oh, I love her. Surely we should be close to the end of it at this point. Or not? No, surely this next bit must be like we go into a thing, right? It's fine, I'll carry on, I make the rules. I know these are like Mondstadt wing things, but they suit him so nicely, don't they? If I haven't said that already.
Miko, what is this place?
The ideal
Soon to
spot
be a
for little meet and
domain.
greet with a certain elusive author.
Oh
This
shit,
is
that
the
I am not
place
ready
where
for.
we are most likely to succeed in summoning the spirit.
I need to heal.
But it feels so eerie here.
That seems rather fitting, considering that we are dealing with the spirits of the deceased here. What are you so afraid of, honestly? We're finally about to meet the true author of a first-hand guide to summoning spirits. Aren't you excited?
And we've already like done this kind of thing so many times, Paimon. Do you not remember Hu Tao's whole thing?
Paimon's heart is pounding, but Paimon's pretty sure it's not because of excitement.
Oh, bless you.
Come on, in we go.
No, I need to heal first. I need to heal. Go without me.
Paimon's scared. Stay close by,
Aww.
okay? Don't leave Paimon all alone.
I will, but also I'm just gonna leave you alone for a sec. Yeah, I can. I was gonna ask if I leave, can I find it again? Oh, now I've had those 90 Puma Gems, can I afford... Yeah, I can. Bear with. I am so prepared. I am getting so ready. Can you tell how ready I'm getting? I still don't know yet if it is actually confirmed that Oh shit, I can't teleport there, never mind. It's fine. I don't even know yet if it is actually confirmed that Kazuha's coming back, or like if he is getting a rerun in 2.8, or if that's just what people are saying. I don't think I'm interested in pulling anyone next, though. I think I'd rather save for Kazuha if he is actually getting a rerun, but I have no clue. Whee. Okay, I am only level 80 though. Oh, and my builds are kind of shit. It takes way too long to find artifacts. I have like one good artifact between the four of them.
What a weird painting. Miko, do you know what it's supposed to show?
Probably a scene from ancient
Plane of Euthymia.
It's a good piece of artwork and all, but it's also kinda eerie. So it's a bit scary. Looks like the artist signed their name. Rakusai? It's not very clear.
Let's go inside and take a look.
I don't want to gather things to open a door. Can I do anything with this? No. Because I'm not going to find him, and I'm going to be here for like ages. Oh, okay. To defeat the Huns. I feel like I'm doing barely any damage. Is she saying right here, right now?
Right here.
Oh wow, you took damage wonderfully. I don't care.
Take flight. Unthinkable.
Awesome.
Wow, this place is huge. Hey, is that
Wow.
a mirror? There's a really weird looking stool as well. Wonder what it's for.
Ah, I see.
Oh.
Huh. This setup is quite handy. Saves me a lot of work. Alright, go and take a look around. There should be a mechanism somewhere that makes the whole room move.
Okay, genuinely have no idea what I'm doing. What is this mirror for? Yeah. Oh. Thank you. The lampstand begins to move slowly. I swear, don't say it. Don't. Don't do it. Thank you. Oh, my recording thing went off. Shit. Okay, no, we're fine. Okay. I am so confused. Maybe this bit should have been a video in itself, because I am not going to be any good at this. Oh my god. I I genuinely am. Oh. I'm not ready. Right here. Right now. Oh, no. I am good at this game. No. I said I'm good at the game. Oh, do you see what I mean by my artifacts being awful? No. It's the artifact's fault, not mine.
Right now. Right here.
You win this battle.
Okay, but where are they? Have I just come from here? I don't know. I think I might have actually just come straight from here. Damn it. Hang on. Nope, that's just a plant. I mean, in theory, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I just... Oh my god. I feel like I've gone through... Oh, wait. Can I break that, like... No, I don't think so. How do I get back down? I don't know what to do. Ah! Okay. Can I plunge that, maybe? Is that what I'm supposed to do? Oh, was I supposed to just come here the whole time? As you can see, great at the game. No! Oh, okay.
Nothing lasts forever.
Just survive long enough to do the thing! Ah! Excuse me.